Hi guys, today's topic about fungal rhinosinusitis in detail. The fungus are the study of fungus is called mycology. So these fungus are eukaryotes in nature. They are having DNA and RNA both. The fungus are mostly multicellular. Sometimes they may be unicellular like yeast-like fungus are unicellular. The cell wall of fungus is made by chitin, galactomannan, and beta 1,3-D glucose. In aspergillosis, these tests are done as a biomarker so that these cell wall content can be identified in the blood. So we are doing serum galactomannan test and beta 1,3-D glucose so that we can identify there is aspergillosis there in the infection in the human body so that we can identify. Chitin biomarker is not available. For mucor also no biomarker is available. For only aspergillosis we can identify galactomannan and beta 1,3-D glucan. Cell membrane of fungus is formed by ergosterol so that we can target this by the azoles like fluconazole, voriconazole. We are targeting the fungus. As the definition of rhinosinusitis, the infection of nose and sinuses is called with inflammation is called rhinosinusitis. On fungus, on histology, clinical and lab test according we can divide the fungus into three parts. One is called invasive fungal rhinosinusitis, two parts. Second is non-invasive fungal rhinosinusitis. The invasive one having three types: acute fulminant FRS, chronic invasive FRS, or chronic granulomatous FRS. If it is less than 4 weeks, it is acute fulminant FRS. Chronic is more than 12 weeks. Non-invasive again having three types: allergic fungal rhinosinusitis, fungal wall, and saprophytic fungal infestation. So according to invasion, what is invasion? Is invasion of mucosa, bone or blood vessel is called invasive FRS. If invasion of mucosa, bone and blood vessel doesn't occur, it is called non-invasive. Now most common organism for acute fulminant FRS is Rhizopus, Absidium, mucor and Aspergillus. For chronic invasive FRS, it is Aspergillus fumigatus. In chronic granulomatous, it is Aspergillus flavus. MCQs. For allergic fungal rhinosinusitis, in India it is Aspergillus and outside India it is Bipolaris alternaria. Fungal wall mainly by the Mycetoma Aspergillus species, or saprophytic fungal infestation by Aspergillus fumigatus. So MCQ is these are the common MCQs you can be asked. Now talk about mainly dangerous fungal infection is called acute fulminant FRS. This is rapidly formed. This acute invasive divided into two parts. One is rhinocerebral mucormycosis, another is rhinocerebral aspergillosis. Rhinocerebral mucormycosis having caused by the Rhizopus, mucor, Absidia, Succinia and Cunningmela. And rhinocerebral aspergillosis caused by Aspergillus fumigatus and flavus. Presentation, you can see unilateral facial swelling, rhinorrhea, unexplained fever. This is mostly clinical sign of unilateral sinusitis. If patient is immunocompromised, suspect fungal infection. Orbital eye pain, proptosis, vision loss, and palatal scar, mostly black in color in the mucormycosis, yellow in the or white in color in the aspergillosis. Sometimes in aspergillosis, isolated sphenoid may have vision loss. There is no another sinus involvement, so it is vision loss due to aspergillosis, may be single finding. Now diagnosis. Most of the fungal infection you have to rule out clinically because it is rapidly spreading. If you clinically suspect mucormycosis or aspergillosis, take patient in the OT and do proper surgery so that we can get proper tissue for histopathology and culture. So ultimate diagnosis clinical followed by HP and culture. The classical black terminate sign, you can see MRI T1 and T2 hyperintense area. So it is on clinical also, or endoscopy you can see classical blackish terminate, palatal, ASCAR immunocompromised patient like diabetes, mellitus, chemotherapy, HIV, severe combined immunodeficiency disease, hematological malignancies. The confirmatory diagnosis can be done by QOH, direct staining, GMS or Gomery methemine silver stain or QOH stain, or HP and culture can be done of the tissue. The GMS stain, gromate methemine silver stain, the mucor having on GMS stain broad non-septate 90-degree angle IP, while aspergillus is having 45-degree thin septate IP. So on direct KOH you can identify this type of infection, which is mucor or aspergillosis. For biomarker and mucor is not available. For aspergillosis we have two type of biomarker, serum galactomannan and serum beta 1,3-D glucon H. This test is also available in India. So we can identify these cell wall content in the blood circulation of infected individual. Imaging MRI is investigation of choice. You can do CT scan. Even in MRI you can see bony detail. In MRI air seen as black and bone also seen as black. So you can identify bony detail in MRI. You don't have to go CT scan, but you can do CT scan if any suspicious abnormality in the anatomy of the nose. So mucormycosis rhinocerebral or aspergillus divided into staging is 4 staging. Stage 1, 2, 3, 4. One is nasal or sinus infection. So in nasal sinus infection you have to do endoscopic sinus debridement. Mortality is about 20 to 30%. In palatal involvement, if it is less than 2 cm, palatal debridement should be added. If more than 2 cm, type 2B, endoscopic debridement, partial maxillotomy should be done. If orbital involvement is there, endoscopic sinus debridement, vision is normal with orbital decompression. If vision lost, endoscopic sinus debridement or orbital excitation should be done. If CNS involvement is there, facial skin grossly involved, then it is resection of involved parts should be done. If patient is unconscious, it is again staging 4A, 4B and C, and facial skin involvement is C. And patient unconscious due to brain involvement to B, and patient is conscious is 4A. So this is staging. So we can do what should be done in what type of the staging. Now management of fungal is surgical. You should do surgical plus antifungal therapy, and you have to control the sugar and underlying cause. The surgeries are endoscopic sinus debridement, partial maxillectomy, brain resection, orbital excitation, orbital decompression, facial skin resection, treatment of underlying disease, sugar control, and hydration should be maintained. This is very important. For hydration you can keep kidney safe. Okay. The amphotericin B therapy, deoxycholate, conventional or liposomal. If brain involvement is there, you should therapy of choice is liposomal. You should give at least for 25 to 40 days so that there will be no recurrence or it will not spread to adjacent structure. Aspergillosis, voriconazole should be given 200 mg BD followed by 200 mg OD for 3 to 6 months. If suspect more infection, you can give up to 2 years. The MRI should be done on day 0, 7, 15 day after post-op, and on day 1, 7 or 15th day. My data till now, I have treated about 302 patients of mucormycosis. 254 are survived and 46 dead. and 2 patient lost follow-up. So according to me, if you are properly treating, the survival rate is about 80 to 90%. That is far more than enough than any other book. So thank you so much.